used to work as a doctor, as a GP, and about 2004 I got breast cancer, and I was off work for 6 months having treatment. It was a time where I suddenly was able to see that I wasn't doing all the things that I wanted to do in my life, and it was one of those, get on and do the stuff because you think you're going to die. So I had been walking with my brother and my daughter on the West Highland Way a few years prior to that, and I'd seen a photography centre on the shores of Loch Lomond in a place called Inversnaid. And we walked past it and I said to myself, oh, that looks like a lovely place to go. And I didn't go. And then after I'd finished my treatment, the very first thing that I did when I was free was to book a course at Inversnaid. Because I'd always been interested in photography, but I'd never really taken it, anywhere further than just casual shots of my family and holiday snaps and stuff. So I went on a course called Art in Nature and took my son, who was then a teenager, and we had a ball. So we were in the dark room, we were out and about, and basically we were encouraged to look at the world in a slightly more abstract way, and I started making close-ups of nature. I came back and I was so excited. I had a picture of some bark on a tree and a leaf in a puddle, and to me they were revelatory because I had never taken pictures like that before, and just became completely obsessed with photography, and it just became an absolute passion, and it has remained so. I gave up my job because they wouldn't give me a sabbatical, and I went and did locums in New Zealand for periods of 3 months. So just living my dream really, hiking, taking photos and working in a beautiful place. So finally retired from working 3 or 4 years ago. I don't even think of myself as a doctor anymore. I think of myself as an artist. It's really fascinating. For a while I felt very lost when I stopped working. I felt as if I had no purpose and that wasn't being useful. So it's been quite hard to get your head around the change in your role. But now I just find other ways to be useful. My father died when I was a child, and for many years nobody spoke about him. It was, I don't know why, but nowadays when someone dies you talk about them after they've gone, but in those days I went on a trip to Scotland, which I do most years for photography because I just love Scotland, and that's where my father was from. It was in October and it just poured with rain, and I came back with the most miserable dark images, which were all in black and white, and I didn't know what to do with them, and I just filed them away on my computer. And then one day I was sitting in my house in Canberra, and suddenly these words came to me, and I wrote, I call it a poem, it's just some words really, about my experience of my father's death. And I realised that those dark, gloomy images would go really well with the words that I had written, and I wanted to make a book. And it was a real feeling of resolution for me to create this thing as a homage to my father. So I enlisted the help of a guy called Alisdair Frames, who helps photographers realise book projects. And we met at the Photographers Gallery quite a few times over the space of, I think it was nearly 2 years, because I went to New Zealand in the middle and came back again. And he helped me work out how to format the book, because I had no experience at that time of using publishing software, which I'm a bit better at now. And together we created a book and got it printed, and it's actually basically once I had made that, I realised that making books was something that I really wanted to do. There we have it. And did I tell you that my father died too soon? While I was at school, he fell off a table, couldn't breathe, and that was him gone. Returning home in the back of my aunt's pale blue bubbles car, full of excitement at the novelty of the ride, I felt that something good was about to happen. My mother sat in an armchair beside the circular loop pile rug on the parquet floor in front of the silent black and white TV. Orange velour curtains disguised the sombre mood. She gave me the news and sent me to the kitchen to have my tea. I was 8, my sister 6, my brother 3. We didn't go to the funeral. It wasn't done back then. Not believing that he was dead, I fancied that, as for Roberta in The Railway Children, my father would reappear one day and take me by the hand. I waited patiently in the school playground for this miracle, day after day after day. I was not the same after he was gone, not late nor past, dead. No one spoke of him for years after. Perhaps the pain was too much to bear. I am drawn to the highlands from whence he came.